Kyle Shanahan really had his best game of the season. He called a hell of a game. How exciting is it to see Kyle Shanahan finally? I'm not going to use the G word. That's a big word, grow. But expand. Expand, which may be the same exact thing. Expand a little bit as a head coach and adapt to what he has at his disposal.
Necessity made him expand and grow. He wouldn't have done it on his own. There are some coaches faced with what he was faced with who would have crumbled. He didn't. He showed inner strength. He showed a certain amount of character. I applaud everything he did, Iggy. I think you feel the team perhaps is on the right track. The coach perhaps is on the right track. It's still to be determined. But what happened, even though it was the Bears, was as positive as it could be. And you see, all season long, I have said and felt there's something wrong with that team. Now, I'm not saying they're over it. They've given signs of being over it. And part of something wrong for me is I'm wondering, is the team still listening to him? They seem to be listening to him against Chicago. Will they listen against LA? I was going to say I hope so, but I'm not a fan. But, it would be nice to see. I'm not in with the Rams. I'm proud of the Niners, not the Rams.
One thing I like the most about what Kyle Shanahan did, and I think it maybe indicates that he might be willing to take some suggestions from people who aren't in his inner circle, is the way he used Kittle in the game, the screens to Kittle. That's something that we've been asking for. A lot of people have been asking for specifically. And when you watch the Lions in particular, the guy that, the team that everyone wants to be with the offensive coordinator that everyone wants, they throw screens to Sam Laporta every game. It's something you see. And when they do it, you and I have said it, like, why don't the Niners do that?
Right.
So it's nice to see Kyle Shanahan, watch another team, hear some criticism and say, yeah, it's fine. We could do that. Absolutely. And actually make the adjustment, because if the Niners would use George Kittle like that consistently, I think they'd win more.
Yeah, and I think a criticism that you and I have had of Shanahan is stubborn.
Yeah.
Stubborn. And in this game, he gave the impression of being not stubborn, but being open-minded. And I think if our viewers, who would you rather be friends with? Who would you rather hang around with? Stubborn people or open-minded people? Open-minded people who listen to your ideas or somebody else's ideas. It's more pleasant to be around a person like that. And I think those people make better coaches.
Yeah, stubborn people, it always has to be their way. They're control freaks. They're exhausting. And once their way doesn't work a few times, you lose patience if you haven't already.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see Kyle Shanahan make it more of a collaborative effort. Like, he's tried his best to do it his way all year. It's not working. Let's take some suggestions from the suggestion box. Oh, throw the ball to the future tight end, future Hall of Fame tight end. I love that suggestion. Why don't we try that?
Yeah, and this future Hall of Fame tight end can really run screen passes, and they have the perfect quarterback to feed him.
Yep.
They do.
Yep. Dad, what would Bill Walsh do with George Kittle?
Oh, my goodness. He would feature him. He would have unlimited ways to get him open. He would be Travis Kelce.
Yep.
He would get a kick out of it. I used to see Bill making his little plays. He used to do it on a yellow legal pad. I used to see him with his left hand writing, and he'd be smiling because he was creating. It's like when I'm writing. And he would have so much fun. And he would have Kittle, but he'd also have a running back involved for passes. He might even use the fullback. He used to use a fullback.
Actually use him
as opposed to a stiff who just moves around. And he'd have Juwan Jennings. He'd feel, God, this is all I need. I'm having a blast.